स्तुवनन्यलभ्यं लक्ष्मीं नृसिंहं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयमुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदां भजेयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये माता पिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्मङ्गलाभिरामम् श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रिगुणं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं सरश्च क्षयभट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखरयोगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेण परकाल इतीन्द्रविश्वान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम् ॐ अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः ॐ अस्मत्परमगुरुभ्यो नमः ॐ अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः श्रीमते निगमान्तमः देशिकाय नमः ॐ वन्दे श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरे वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि वन्दे बृन्दावनचरं वल्लभीजनवल्लभम् जयन्ति वन्दे बृन्दावनचरं वल्लभीजनवल्लभम्
जयन्ती सम्भवं
वाचं निजां करसिकां प्रसमीक्षमाणो वक्त्रारविन्दनिवेशितपाञ्चजन्यः
वर्णत्रिकुररुचे पुण्डपुण्डरीके पद्मासनं जयति वल्लभचक्रवर्ती
नाम्नाय गन्धर्वितस्मृतोधरोष्टम् आश्रयविरीक्षणमनुक्षणमन्दहासम्
गोपालदिव्यवक्षं कुहनजनन्याः प्राणस्तनन्तय मायि परमपुमांसम्
आविर्भवतु निभृताभरणं पुरस्तात् आकुञ्चितैकचरणं निभृतान्यपादम्
दग्नानिबद्धमुखरेण निबद्धतालं नादस्यन्नन्तभवने नवनीतनाख्यम्
हर्तुं कुम्भे विनिधिकरस्वादु हय्यङ्गवीनं दृष्ट्वा धर्मग्रहणचटलां मातरं जातरोष
पायादीश प्रचलितोपतो नापगच्छन्नतिनित्यकोपसपति नयने मिलियन् सुकोत्था
प्रजोषदपङ्गवेधनीयं मथुराभाग्यमनन्यभोग्यमीडे
सुतेव वधूस्तनं दयन्तं किमपि विशोभावदृश्यम्
परिवर्तितकन्धरं भयेन स्मितपल्लाधरपल्लवं स्मरामि
विकटितनिरासकं कयोश्चित् विपुलो लुखराकर्षं कुमारम्
निकटेश निशामयामि नित्यं निगमान्तैरधनाभिमृग्यमाणम्
यमलार्जुनदृष्टभालकेलिं यमुना साक्षिकयवनं युवानम्
पदवी मद्वेसीं मुक्तेः अटवी सम्पदमुपवाहयन्ते
अरुणाधरसाभिलाषा वंशां करुणां कारणमांशिं गच्छामि
अनिमेषनिषेवनीयमक्ष्णोः अजहद्यवनमाविरस्तु चित्ते
कलहायिता कुन्तलं कलापैः कर्णोन्मादकविद्रोहं मोहे
अनुयायि मनोज्ञवंशनालैः अवधुस्पर्शितवल्लभीविमोहैः
अनकस्मितशीतलैः असौ माम् अनुकम्पा सरितम्बुजैः अपाङ्गैः
अथराहितचारुवंशनालाः मुकुटारम्भ्यमयूरपिञ्चमालाः
हरिलीलाशिलरूपङ्गलीलाः प्रतिभासन्तु मम अन्तिमप्रयाणे
अखिलानवलोकयामि कालान् महिलाधीनभुजान्तरस्य यूनः
रिपीट
सारी अथराहितचारुवंशनालाः मुकुटारम्भ्यमयूरपिञ्चमालाः
हरिलीलाशिलरूपङ्गलीलाः प्रतिभासन्तु मम अन्तिमप्रयाणे
अखिलानवलोकयामि कालान् महिलाधीनभुजान्तरस्य यूनः
अभिलाषा पदव्रजङ्गनानाम् अभिलापक्रमातुरमभिरूप्यम्
मृदुमुग्धशिखण्डमण्डनो लिखितक्येन मैषशिल्पिना
मधुरात्रवल्लवाङ्गना मगनाम्बोजदिवाकुरैव
महसीताय मुलिना विनतेनञ्जलिमञ्जनत्विषे
कलयामि वियुक्तवल्लवी वलया भाषितमञ्चकेन वे
जयतलवृत्तिं शिक्षितो वल्लवीनां शितलैः
अखिलभुवनरक्षकोपवेशसरिष्णुः अधरमुनिसुताया वंशान् वंशमालः
चित्राकल्पशोषगलयन् लाङ्गलीकर्णपूरं बर्होत्तम सुस्मृतिचिकुरो बन्धुजीवं दिधानः
गुञ्जाबद्धा मुरसी ललितां धारयन् हारयष्टिं गोपास्त्रीणां विच्छेति कितवा कोऽपि कौमारहारी
लीलायष्टिं करकिसलैः दक्षिणेन यशधन्यां हंसेदेव्याः फलगृचते सन्निविष्टान्यबाहुः
मेकाश्यामो चैति ललितो मेत्कुलदत्तवेणुः गुञ्जापीडस्फुरित चित्रोपकन्या विजयितुः
प्रच्चालीढस्थितिमदेतां प्राप्तगाढं कपालिं पश्चादीशन्मृतनयनां प्रेयसीं प्रेक्षमाणः
वस्त्रयंत्र प्रणीत करो भक्त जीवातु अव्यात वारी क्रीडन विड वस्त्रो वल्लवी वल्लभो नः
वासो हृत्वा दिनकरसुता सन्निधौ वल्लवीनां लीलास्मेरो जैतललिताम् आस्थितः कुन्दशाखः
सव्रीडाभिः तदनु वसनिताभिः अभ्यर्थमाने कामि कश्चित् कर कमलयोः अंजलिं याचमानः
वासो हृत्वा दिनकरसुता सन्निधौ वल्लवीनां लीलास्मेरो जैतललिताम् आस्थितः कुन्दशाखः
सव्रीडाभिः तदनु वसनिताभिः अभ्यर्थमाने कामि कश्चित् कर कमलयोः अंजलिं याचमानः
यत्यनन्यमनसा विनिर्मितां वेङ्कटेशकविना स्तुतिं पठन्
दिव्यनुरसिकं समीक्षते दैवत किमपि यौवत प्रियम्
यत्यनन्यमनसा विनिर्मितां वेङ्कटेशः कविना स्तुतिं पठन्
दिव्यवेणुरसिकं समीक्षते दैवतं किमपि यौवत प्रियम्
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने
वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः
वादिद्विपशुरो भङ्गा पञ्चाननपराक्रमः श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः चिरं विजयतां भुवि श्रीमते निगमहन्तमः देशिकाय नमः. So this Dhurta Gopala is literally playing pranks in the entire Nanda Gokulam. Why? Because he has to attract everyone. He did not leave anyone there in the Nanda Gokulam whom he has not attracted. And as though it is not enough, he will go to any extent to make sure that the Gopikas are truly surrendered to him. There is no trick that he will not employ, because Bhagavan is Bhakta Paradhina. He is very happy only in the company of his devotees. He just wants to enjoy to what extent a devotee can go to please him. And the devotee is equally interested in the wonderful games Bhagavan is playing with the devotee, that the devotee enjoys what all Krishna does to him. We will see that in the 20th verse, how Krishna says that people have enjoyed what all he did. Now here comes in the 14th verse, Hrudimugdha Shikhanda Mandano Likivakena Mamaisha Shilpina Madana Turavalla Vangana Vadanam Bhoja Divakaro Yuva. You know, a beautiful lotus flower, it blooms only when the sun rises. The Gopikas are so beautiful. Their faces are looking just like lotus flowers. And if those flowers have to bloom, there should be a sun. That sun is none other than our Krishna. The minute Krishna comes, their faces just bloom, that smile, that happiness. Nowhere you can come across. So Mahatma Desika is just wondering, if suppose there is a beautiful painting, you'll say, who painted it? It's so beautiful. If there's a beautiful sculpture, you'll say, who is the artist? Who is the sculptor? It's so nice. Looking at Krishna and his most marvelous form, Mahatma Desika is wondering, which sculptor has carved out this most handsome person? Did Brahma create? Come on. Krishna created Brahma. How can Brahma create Krishna? So nobody created Krishna except he created himself. Sambhamami Atmamaya. So Mahatma Desika is wondering, is there any sculptor who has given any ideas to Sriman Narayana? Narayana, this is how you should go to Bhuloka because there are 16,000 gopikas waiting for you. We don't even know. Nobody would have imagined that Krishna will come in this particular form in Dwapara Yuga. Given that description itself is making the people in Kali Yuga go just ecstatic about Krishna. Imagine how much the gopikas would have gone through when they see Krishna just directly in front of them. So may we be fortunate to have this Krishna in our hearts. And how is he? With beautiful peacock feathers. And he is just a rising sun to all the lotus-like faces. It's just automatic. The minute sun rises, the lotus blooms. The minute Krishna appears on the screen, the gopikas, they just bloom. They just blush. That extremely happy feeling that they met their beloved Krishna is there so visible on their faces. Even when they are complaining to Yashoda, Krishna could easily see that the way they look at Krishna with so much of affection. Krishna enjoyed every moment with the gopikas. That is the reason why Krishna even enjoyed the gopikas complaining about him to Yashoda. Because even if you want to hide, they could not hide it. That is another beauty of Krishna. That's why he's called Hrishikesha. Hrishikesha, one who is there in the hearts of everyone. Is there anything that can happen in the whole universe without his knowledge? Is there anyone who is more knowledgeable than Krishna? When he can peep into your heart, into your mind, into your intellect, into your everything, into your past, present, and future. What is the reason for the Gopikas craving for Krishna? Because there is no better person in the whole universe to be loved. If the scriptures say there is one thing who can be called as Purusha, that is Krishna. Question to you, can anyone of you justify why only Narayana can be called as Purusha? Imam? Hello? What happened today, Ma? Everybody is sleeping? Oh, 1 hour before, so your sleep is disturbed? Anybody there?
Yes, Swamiji.
Can you tell me why only Narayana can be called as Purusha?
Because he was Purushottama.
Emma?
Is it Narayana? Is all the rasa is coming from Narayana? All the bhava rasa.
What happened, Amma? What happened, Amma? Maybe you didn't hear this word a lot of times, maybe. Remember, the Purusha Shabdam can be applied only to that person for whom Mahalakshmi is the wife. In the Vedas, it is called Purusha Suktam, the glorification of that particular person called Purusha. And that Purusha in the Vedas, they did not give anybody by name: Krishna, Rama, Ranganatha, Narayana, Venkateshwara. They did not give by name. They only said Hrishchate Lakshmishcha Patnyau. That particular person alone can be called as Purusha, whom Sri Mahalakshmi accepted as her husband. That is what exactly, very innocently, Rukmini, still under the Maya, because she has taken a human form. Even in Krishna Avatara, except Krishna, nobody is there in the Bhagavad Tattvam, including Rukmini. That is why Rukmini says, Koradevanu Ramakanta Lalamu, Rajanyanika Pasimha, Navalane Janminchane Mohamul. Krishna, am I the only one to fall in love with you, Krishna? Didn't Mahalakshmi, the minute she appeared, Kshira Samudra Rajatanaya, did she not fall in love with you, Krishna? So why do you blame me that I am the first one to fall in love with you? When Ksheerabdi Kanya herself fell in love with you, Krishna, what after all am I, Rukmini Devi was thinking, because she is not aware that she herself is the Ksheerabdi Putri. So that Purusha Shabdam applies only to Sriman Narayana. And Gopikas cannot think of anyone else. Jivatmas being feminine in nature. Jivatmas being feminine in nature, they are just attracted to the Purusha, the only Purusha, Sriman Narayana, now who appeared as Lord Krishna. In fact, Gopikas have such a great feeling that they own Krishna. You know that? They own Krishna, they feel. Every Gopika felt that they own Krishna, that they can play with Krishna, dance with Krishna, sing with Krishna, beat Krishna, chase Krishna, get chased by Krishna. There is no end for the Gopikas' dealings with Krishna. It is not a craving for 1 day or 2 days, it is a craving for thousands and thousands of years as Maharshis. And after the Ramavatara was over and the Krishna Avatara in the Dwapara Yuga itself was there, extending all the way over 864,000 years, and Krishna appeared only in the last 125 years of Dwapara Yuga. What could be the amount of waiting period for those Maharshis of Ramayana Kala? Now, even if you look at it that way, Rama was first seen by those Maharshis who were kept in the jail of Ravana immediately after Ravana Samharam. After Ravana Samharam, Rama ruled the country for establishing Ramaraja for 11,000 years. So the Maharshis waited 11,000 years in Ramavatara. Then Dwapara Yuga started, 864,000 years. And in the last minute of Dwapara Yuga, just 125 years before, Krishna appears. Therefore, that 11,000 years plus this 864,000 years, imagine 875,000 years is the waiting period for these Maharshis. Imagine what could be the craving of the Maharshis as Gopikas. What after all you and me craving for Krishna? At the most you are 30, I am 70, our craving is only, come on, we didn't crave for Krishna right from day one. Maybe fortunately for the past few years. What is after all this craving compared to the Maharshis who were there, just waiting anxiously like a chakora bird for that moon to appear? That Yaduvamsha Sudhambhuti Chandra, for him to appear, that Chandra, these chakoris, these gopikas, were just waiting. Another bird is there, Chataka. That Chataka will never even drink water, only the rainwater. Just as the Chataka birds wait for the rainwater, even if it takes 1 year, there are no rains, they won't drink, they will just starve like that. That is called pure love for Krishna. These Mahatmas were craving for 875,000 years. Therefore, will their faces not bloom the minute they see their Krishna? Nothing wrong in Gopikas claiming they own Krishna. Mahase Mahitaya Mulina Vinatenanjali Manjanatvishe Kalayami Vimugdha Vallavi Valaya Bhashita Manju Venave. And what is our Krishna doing? This totally captivating Bhagavan Sri Krishna's melodies. Manju Venave, that most beautiful Venu, the flute. When Krishna is playing the flute, naturally when there is singing, they need some orchestra. They need some instrumental music. For the melodies that are coming from the Mohana Vamshi of Lord Krishna. Vimugdha Vallavi, these 16,000 Gopikas, mesmerized Gopikas, the jingling sounds from their bangles happen to be the accompaniments for the talam, etc. Krishna's music itself is captivating. If it is there accompanied by the instrumental music also, the automatically rhythmic and synchronizing tala from the bangles that are there, 16,000 gopikas, 32,000 hands, 32,000 hands synchronously producing wonderful accomplishments as music, instrumental music for Krishna's Venuganam. Imagine how captivating it will be. Mahatma Desika says, may we bend our heads so low in all humility and be fortunate. And may we just fold our hands, Anjali Mudra. Vinatena Anjalim Anjanatvishe. This Bhagavan Sri Krishna, how is he? He is so dark, like the collyrium the ladies apply onto their eyes. There was a simple story about Krishna, his body color, etc., and the black collyrium applied on the eye. No, the ladies apply to their eyes. When the children are very young, very small, very young, very like say less than a year, the mothers are so attached to the children. Every mother feels that child is the most beautiful one. And after dressing up the child, the mother feels, oh my God, my child looks so cute. Other people's evil eye may fall on my child. She will take a black spot and put it on the face somewhere, conspicuously on the side, on the cheek, on the chin, somewhere, so that the people's attention will be there focused only onto the black spot, but onto the face to cast their evil eyes. So Yashoda wanted to do the same thing. She dressed up Krishna so beautifully and put a black spot on his face. But after a few minutes, Yashoda thought, did I really keep the black spot on the face of my Krishna? She was not sure. She was there so absorbed in enjoying the beauty of Krishna. She totally forgot whether she put the black spot or not. She went back to Krishna and was there looking at Krishna's face, whether she really put the black spot or not. And to her great surprise, she could not even find the black spot because the face itself is there exactly matching with the color of that black collyrium. To that extent, Krishna is dark complexion. And still the Gopikas loved to see that particular dark form of Lord Krishna. They just felt this dark form is the one that is captivating our hearts. We should be fortunate to bend our heads so low in all humility. And fold our hands in Anjali Mudra. And prostrate to this Lord Krishna, who is so magnanimous. And why Krishna is captivating? His only business is Paritranaya Sadhuna. Who else can be the greater sadhus than Gopikas? So capture them. And what will Krishna get in return? Sadhu Sangam. Krishna loves the company of sadhus. So this totally captivating Bhagavan Krishna's melodies from his flutes, they are having as accompaniments, musical instruments, all the jingling sounds from the bangles of the most beautiful Vrajabhaminis. Because even in their giving the music, Vimugdha, their hearts are there melting with such amorous feelings for Krishna. Naturally, that feeling, that tenderness, that madhuryam is a seen even in the jingling sounds of their bangles. Not one, not two, 16,000. 16,000 gopikas, Paramaikantika Bhagavatottamas. What could be a greater bhagyam for all of us to enjoy this particular view? Krishna's flute giving out wonderful melodies with accompaniments as gopikas jingling bangles. When Gopikas had every intention to accompany Krishna wherever he went in Nanda Gokulam, it was almost like a procession. Nobody could even stop. Everybody was there. Let me be close to Krishna, let me be close to Krishna, let me be close to Krishna. Nothing other than that for them. There can be no greater sight in the Nanda Gokulam for anyone to enjoy other than the captivating melodies from Krishna's flute, and without their knowledge, the accompaniments from the bangles of the Gopikas. When Bhagavan Sri Krishna is enjoying playing his flute, what all anybody could do is just get frozen. And even getting frozen, the Gopikas could move synchronously their hands, and Krishna enjoyed the accompaniments. So, Krishna, Mahatma Desika is saying, Jayati, may all victory be to Krishna. Jaitalita vrittim sikshito vallaveenam shidalavrayashinja shitalair hastatalehi Akhila Bhunaraksha Gopaveshasya Vishnu Adhara Mani Sudhayam Amshavan Vamshanalaha. This Paramapurusha Sri Krishna in that Rasa Mandalam is there like a moon that is surrounded by stars in the sky, and Jayati, let it be all victory, all victory. To whom? To the Mohana Vamshi, to the flute of our Supreme Lord Krishna. Why? Why the victory to the flute? Because when 16, suppose so many people are there waiting for an opportunity, and somebody gets that opportunity, everybody will feel that person is most fortunate. 16,000 Gopikas are there day in and day out craving to have the Adharamritam of Lord Krishna. When 16,000 Gopikas are craving for the Adharamritam of Lord Krishna, and this Mohana Vamshi, this most wonderful flute, the most fortunate flute, is constantly there on the lips of Krishna, is there any need to be called that fortunate person? Is a none other than the flute? Constantly enjoying, endlessly, varam varam, purayantam. Krishna is filling the flute. Varam varam vadanamaruta venam apurayantam. As though the Adharamritam is not enough, Krishna is even giving the pranavayu from his own self into the flute. Now, that Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana disguised himself Akhila Bhuvana Raksha Gopa Veshasya Vishnoho. This Sriman Narayana, who is the person to give protection to all the universes, Bhuvana Raksha. And how did he come, that Mahavishnu? Gopa Veshasya. So that Sri Mahavishnu disguised himself as the little Krishna in this Vrajabhumi. Akhila Bhuvana Raksha. What for? To protect all the universes, not just the Bhuloka. And the great flute of Lord Krishna taught the most amorous dance called Lalita to all the Gopikas. And the Gopikas are there completely in such an ecstatic mood. They started clapping their hands to the melodies from the flute. And as they are clapping their hands are getting cold. Why? They are so excited. They are sweating. And this jingling sounds from their loose bangles. Nobody will wear such loose bangles. Then how come everybody will try to wear some kind of a little bit tight bangles? Not so loose. But for them to produce the jingling sounds, they should be so loose and move freely as the Gopikas clap their hands. Question to all of you. Can anybody just think of why the bangles are making such beautiful sounds as accompaniments to Krishna's flute? Any idea, ma?
Narayana Swamiji.
Hmm.
Maybe because they also love Krishna the way Gopikas love Krishna.
Okay. So you mean that bangles are personified and they too love Krishna as much as the Gopikas are loving Krishna, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Good way of thinking. Anything better, ma? Anything different?
When the Gopikas are churning for making the yogurt, it's making that synchronous sound.
Now they are not churning, sir. They are enjoying the dance with Krishna. They are there in the company of Krishna. They are there mesmerized by Krishna's flute. And they
Gopikas
are
waist belt jingling.
Ma?
Gopikas waist belt.
I did not get you, ma. Can you speak a bit loudly?
Gopikas waist belt.
We are talking about the bangles, ma. Yes, there are jingle bells in the waist also, but now they are clapping. Even though they are clapping, generally you people wear bangles that are a little bit tight, not exactly so loose. But unless they are extremely loose, they cannot make that kind of jingling sounds. Very simple. Gopikas are unable to bear the viraham, the separation from Krishna even for a second. And because of that unable to bear suffering called viraham from Krishna, the Gopikas' hands have become so thin, that the bangles have become so loose. And the minute they clap, the bangles are just rushing to each other to produce the synchronous sounds. Only in that viraham they feel the closeness, the attachment, the craving for Krishna. They could not eat, they could not sleep, they could not do anything. Body became so thin, hands became so thin. The minute they clap, the bangles are there rushing to touch each other and produce those jingling sounds. In a way, the Gopikas are expressing their love or the pain they are going through because of the separation from Krishna called Viraham, through that beautiful synchronizing sounds from their bangles. With every sound, Krishna knows. Krishna, being the Supreme Lord, he knows even which particular sound is from which Gopika's bangles. Because again, Krishna will go to them in the Rasa Krida and explain to everyone, that particular note when I was playing, the sound that you made from your bangles was so captivating to me. He will reciprocate. You should see the ecstatic feeling of Krishna, the Gopikas. Oh my goodness, 16,000 Gopikas are there. How much Krishna loves me, that Krishna, he can make out the sound from my bangles, even though there are other 16,000 Gopikas doing the same thing. How unfortunate I am, Krishna loves me. Krishna gave that kind of a special feeling to every Gopika. That is the supremacy of Lord Krishna. Every devotee, he makes feel that Krishna considers them as so important. In fact, at one point, a Gopika who was a little bit dark in complexion, called Neela, she was crying and crying because the other Gopikas are making fun of her, as if no better girl is there available. Do you mean to say Krishna left everyone and came to you to be happy with you? Ah, what a black beauty are you. When that girl Neela was crying, Krishna came and consoled her. Why do you worry about their words? They are just human beings. What all they can see is your physical form, your physical body complexion, that you are not fair, that you are dark in complexion. But what I look at you is not your body color. What I look at you is your Atma Saundaryam. What a pure heart you have got to love me. And when I am so close to you, why are you worried about their comments that Krishna came only for Neela because you are so beautiful? Can't believe it, they say. Fine, I am here with you. I came literally for you. Krishna made every Gopika feel so special. And our Krishna never ignored even one smile of any Gopika. He definitely reciprocated with each and every Gopika. And that made them so ecstatic. How could Krishna do that? Again, Hrishikesha. He is there in the hearts of everyone. That is why at one point he says, Ambarani Achakarsha. A Gopika was feeling a little bit haughty when Krishna did the Vastrapaharanam. Krishna wanted to teach her a lesson. She doesn't want to come out of the waters. She doesn't want to be seen without any clothes by Krishna. She somehow wanted to grab the clothes. And Krishna wanted to enjoy the predicament of that Gopika. So Krishna made the water, the Yamuna, so clear. That Gopika did not realize that she is looking at the shadow. She thought she is looking at the real, her own sari, and tried to capture it, grab it. The minute she tried to grab it, the water were completely shaken and the image disappeared. You should see the face of that Gopika. When other Gopikas are saying, let's go and beg Krishna to give our clothes, this Gopika said, no way, I'll come out of the water like this. She thought she is very smart and Krishna wanted to enjoy how she feels. Made the water of Yamuna so still. And that lady did not realize whether she is looking at an image. She thought, here is my sari, took 2 steps and then grabbed it. When she's trying to grab it, her hand only touched the waters and the waters became so turbulent and the whole image got disappeared. Then you should see Krishna looking at her. So you understand what a heavy price you paid for your naughtiness and not coming to me? Good. I can cheat you even by creating an image that looks so real that you'll be tempted to believe it is real and grab your sari. Did you grab your sari? What can you grab in an image? The only thing, you only disturbed the image, nothing more than that. Every minute Krishna spent with Gopikas is a memorable thing for the Gopikas. Chitra kalpashavasi kalyan langali karnapuram barho tamsasprita chikro bandhu jivam dadanaha gunjabadham mursalilitam dharayan harayashtim gopastrinam jaiti kitavaha gopi kaumarahari. Now this beautiful verse. What a great title for Krishna. Krishna the cheat. Krishna the most naughty scoundrel. How much Gopikas loved to call Krishna the scoundrel. And how much Krishna enjoyed being called a naughty scoundrel by the Gopikas. Not just by one. Not just by one. By the Gopikas in the in the Gopika Geetam, in Srimad Bhagavatam. Kitavayo Shita Krishna Kascha Jednishi. By Mahatma Vedavyasa. Kitava, Sanskrit dictionary gives so many meanings. A rogue, a cheat, a scoundrel. Vedavyasa used it. Kitavayo Shita, Vedanta Desika used it in Gopala Vimshathi. Here, Gopastrinam Jaiti Kitavaha. Jaydeva used it in one of his Ashtapatis. Are you there, Padma? Padma, I don't know whether she is there. She is not there. Amma, anybody who knows the Ashtapatis, Amma?
I can tell some. Yahi Madhava, Yahi Kesava, Mavada Kaitava.
Exactly. You want to sing at least one line, Amma?
No, so sorry.
So, this Krishna, see how much they all loved Krishna. Unless they loved Krishna to that extent, they could not have called Krishna, you the scoundrel. That is the highest point of their love for Krishna that made them call Krishna a scoundrel. They enjoyed calling Krishna by all these names, namely a rogue, a cheat, a scoundrel. And more than them, Krishna enjoyed being called. Only 3 people? There is one more. Leela Shukar in Krishna Karnamritam, 3rd chapter, 30th verse. Panau Venuhu Pratasukuma Rakrutau Balyalakshmihi Parshve Balaha Pratay Sarsa Loki Tapanga Leelaha Maulo Barham Madhuravadanam Bhurihe Mogdha Mudre Mudreti Ardrakaram Kimapi kitavam jyotihi anveshayamaha. Mahatma Leela Shukar. In his Krishna Karnamritam. Calls Krishna the same. So why they are calling Krishna Kitava? All victory to Lord Krishna. That very, very naughty rogue, that very, very cheating scoundrel, who in just a fraction of a second mesmerized the gopikas and took away their youth. And how is he appearing so enchanting? Krishna dressed up himself with the langali flowers on his ears, with glittering peacock feathers in his hair, and with a garland of bandhujiva flowers, and of course rows and rows of gunja bead strands on his chest. Krishna did not play his Riyapatitvam there. Krishna played only his Yaduvamsha Sudhambi Chandratvam there. Is jewelry not available to Krishna? But he preferred to enjoy the Vrindavana beauty, having the langali flowers, peacock feathers, bandhujiva flowers, and the gunja beads. The gunja means the red seeds with a black spot at the bottom. In the good olden days, people used to collect them, and they used to even have them to weigh the gold. But you can make garlands with that. The red seeds with the black spot at the bottom. The combination red and black makes such a beautiful strand. And Krishna sported so many of them on his chest. What can poor Gopikas do except fall for Krishna and his charms? It is such a coincidence that four Mahatmas used the same word, each one of them trying to express how much they are in love with Krishna by using exactly the same word. Jayati Kitavaha Gopi Kaumarahari by Mahatma Desika. Kitavayoshitaha Krishna Kaschujenishi by Vedavyasa. Yahi Madhava Yahi Keshava Mavada Kaitava Vadam by Jayadeva. And Ardrakaram Kimapi Kitavam Jyotihi Anveshayamaha by Leela Shukar. We cannot even come anywhere closer to the love of these four Mahatmas for Krishna. That is why when Leela Shuka's poetry came, it is not called melodious for us. It is like Amrutam even to the ears of Krishna. Krishna Karna Amrutam. For the ears of Krishna, it is a nectar. Vedavyasa's Gopika Geetam is a nectar. Gopala Vimshathi is a nectarian. Gita Govindam is nectarian. That is why when Jayadeva's Gita Govindam was composed, Sakhi Yaramita Vanamalina became so popular. Anla Tarala Kuvalaya Nayanena Tapatasa Mansaja Vishikena Sakhi Yaramita Vanamalina. Yamma, none of you know any of the Ashtapadis, Amma? That is strange.
What's for me? One Ashtapadi?
Sakhi Yaramita Vanamalina.
Yeah.
Sakhi Yaramita Vanamalina Anla Tarala Kuvalaya Nayanena Tapatasa Manasaya Vishikena. So these Gopikas enjoyed falling for Krishna, and Krishna enjoyed employing every trick and every charm to attract Gopika to the all the Gopikas to the highest level of perfection. When that spiritual element is there, that Madhurya Bhavam becomes so enjoyable. If that Madhurya Bhavam is not there, it becomes so crude. That's the difference. And Mahatma Desika at every minute of his life enjoyed the Krishna Tattvam to such an extent to say, Divyavenu Rasikam Samikshate Daivatam Kimapi Yavata Priyam. Anybody who wanted to have the Sakshatkaram of Krishna, they just loved. And Mahatma Desika goes even to an extent that Gopi Kaumarahari, just in a flash, Krishna can mesmerize the Gopikas and steal their virginity. Does he need any makeup? Absolutely no need. But still he preferred any number of naturally occurring available in the Vrindavan. It is just a tool for Krishna to attract the Gopikas. Whether they are the Longali flowers, or whether they are the glittering peacock feathers, or the Bandhujiva flowers, or the Gunja beads, our Bhagavan Krishna can make them all a tool to attract the Gopikas. Why the Gunja flowers? Any idea, ma? Why the Gunja beads?
Sriman loves that Gulganji in Kannada we call, Swamiji.
What do you call it, ma?
In Kannada we call Gulganji. It's the one that the goldsmiths use it for weighing as well.
Correct.
That is, Perumal loves it and loves to wear it, right?
Why Perumal loves to wear it?
That I don't know.
Well, just think for 1 minute, you will know the answer.
It has black, red with black in under some color. Yeah, we call Kundumani in Tamil.
Exactly, ma. Exactly the same thing.
Mahalakshmi
Exactly the same
loves
thing.
it. Krishna loves it. In Guruvayurappan temple also, they'll keep it in the temple, I believe. It's, I don't know why.
They keep that red and black beads, Amma.
Yeah. Yes, Acharyaji. Yes, Acharyaji. And it's auspicious to keep it at home itself, it seems.
Hmm. The reason Krishna said Krishna used the Gunja beads is because just to indicate the Jivatmas represented by the Gopikas, that too in the most amorous feelings as red in color, and Krishna himself so dark, he is just indicating your Jivatmas are meant to come and merge with me. You, the Jivatmas, that are there in so much of ragam, anuragam, amorous feelings for me. Your passion for me is looking so red, and I being so dark that you are so much attracted to me. When you join me, you can merge into me, you can maintain your individuality, you can be with me together. That Jivatma Paramatma Sambandham. And if you look at a Gunja bead, red is on the top, black is at the bottom. Red is at the top, black is at the bottom, indicating it is not that the Jivatmas are craving for Krishna, even Paramatma is craving for the pure devotees. If the Jivatmas keep Krishna's feet on their forehead, Paramatma keeps the devotees' feet on his forehead. Therefore, Krishna says, I am here to serve you. I am here at a lower level compared to you. At one point, Krishna says, even if I were to be, I do not think I can love you as much as you love me. You are much superior to me in your love for me. So many meanings I heard from great Mahatmas and Acharyas. That one word, Gunja Vardham Varsalitam. That's why there is no comparison for Krishna at all. That's why they did not worry at all. They did not care at all whether it is Gopastrinam Jaitakitavaha Gopi Kaumarahari. That Kaumaram, that youth of the Gopikas was just stolen away. By Krishna. It is like when you lose something, you cry. When you lose something, you feel bad. The Gopikas lost their youth and they enjoyed it. Anything with Krishna, the negative becomes positive. That is the supremacy of Krishna. Well, he has so many of them. Barhotamsa Spurita Chikuru. Why the peacock feathers again in that bun? That peacock in its ecstasy danced and danced and danced. The peacock dances when it sees the clouds. But when the peacock saw Krishna with his body complexion resembling exactly the same as a rain-bearing cloud, the peacocks went so ecstatic and danced to their heart content. While dancing, according to the Natya Shastra, if at all any of the jewelry or even the anklets, the bells from the anklets fall down on the stage, it is considered as inauspicious. In the Arangetrams, etc., If people are there as judges, the people who are dancing should be so careful. None of their decorative ornaments on their body, or not even one bell from their anklets, should fall onto the stage. As the peacock danced and danced and danced, one feather fell down. And the peacock knew the Natya Shastra and felt ashamed that it could not meet the expectations of Krishna to be a perfect dancer because a peacock feather fell down. Krishna, Bhakta Vatsala, was so kind to that peacock and said, "Why do you feel bad that a feather fell down? I am the one who made it fall down. Why? Looking at the captivating dance you did, I wanted to give you the highest status. How can I do? I made a feather fall down. Look, I'm picking that feather and keeping it on top of my head." The peacock was shedding tears of joy. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, at every act of his, has only one thing: how to give the greatest of the greatest happiness to his devotees. That is why Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Enjoy Krishna in the Gopika Geetam, as Mahatma Desika did. Go ahead, Mark, quickly questions. I had to go for a Dhanvantari Homam now. You can unmute your phones and please, with your questions, please.
Acharyaji, Sriman Narayana Acharyaji Nitya here. Acharyaji, we were talking about the Kundumani, right, Acharyaji? Where Acharyaji said red is Jivatma and black is Paramatma. Where is Tayar, Acharyaji?
What is that? Mahalakshmi is always there on the chest of Sriman Narayana.
Super, Acharyaji. Sure. So we are not missing her, right?
He is a oh, your name. What's your full name? Nitya?
Nitya Kalyani.
Nitya Kalyani. Maybe your Nitya, your name, your parents gave you Nitya Kalyani.
Yes, Acharyaji.
But that Mahalakshmi and the title Nityana Payini.
Wow.
Nityana Payini. If you take it as a shortened version, Nitya. Nityana Payini. One who will never, never leave the chest of Sriman Narayana. Nityam, always, Anapayini, cannot live even for a second without her Lord.
Sure, Acharyaji.
Nityanapayini.
She is inside him always. So in that Kundumani also, she is inside in that black color.
Yeah.
Thank you, Acharyaji. Thank you so much.
Go ahead, Amma. What are your questions? Ima, no questions?
Acharyaji, what is Jayadeva's Gita Govindam? So there he talks about Radha Devi, but Desika does not talk about Radha Devi.
As I said, sir, every Mahatma, simple, Divakar. When you were there in the college, four or five of you as friends went to a movie. After the movie, when you're walking back to your rooms, somebody says, "I love that song. That is the highlight in the whole movie." Another person says, no, that fight, oh my goodness, that is the highlight for this movie. Another person says, oh my goodness, those jokes, unimaginable, man. I love those jokes. That is the highlight for the movie. Another person says, none of these. Look at that most unexpected ending, the way the movie ended. So, every Mahatma took one aspect of Krishna or as many aspects of Krishna. Jayadeva, it is that the name is not mentioned in Bhagavatam, but there are 16,000 Gopikas. So Jayadeva gave the name Radha to the most fortunate of all the 16,000 Gopikas. Vedanta Desika, for him, every Gopika is as great as Radha. She is the greatest, but every Gopika is as great as Radha. That is how the beauty of Vedanta Desika is treating the Gopikas. Mahatma Vedavyasa, one way some people have given that explanation was, this Shuka Maharshi, Vedavyasa's son, was so captivated by Krishna and Krishna's paratvam. The minute Krishna's name comes, he will only associate himself with the Gopikas. And if he hears the name Radha, he will go almost into a trance. Every minute he will just leave and then go into his mental plane to enjoy the presence of the Gopikas with Krishna and more so with Radha. He will be so ecstatic, he will be unconscious. That's one reason why they say Vedavyasa did not bring. Vedanta Desika and Gopala Vimshathi did not say Radha. But in Yadava Bhidayam, he said once he used the name Radha, he agreed with the presence of Radha. In the case of Jaydeva, for him, Radha is everything. In the case of Leela Shuka, Radha is everything. In fact, in Jaydeva's Gita Govindam and in Leela Shuka's this thing, at one point Krishna feels so bad that I offended Radha and she went away. Hata darataya sagata kupitena. So they went to an extent that Krishna was feeling miserable because Radha was angry with him and went away. Therefore, the bhava vesham of Mahatmas is very different, sir. Go ahead, Amma.
So who came up with, who said about Radha first? I mean, if Vedavyasa is not mentioning about Radha Devi, then who?
Now, Agni Purana, etc., there is a mention of Radha, but again they say the Puranas are not great standards, so they did not take. So there is nothing wrong if you feel like Radha. Sure, she is the greatest of the Bhagavatas, the chief of all the Gopikas. That's much is sure. Go ahead, Amma.
Narayana Swamiji, Lakshmi, Narayana Shanagati takes us to the Vaikuntham. Then, is there? I'm trying to understand where the Golak Vrindavan is. It is inside. It's a specific address into the Golak Vrindavan. Is in within the Vaikunt. I'm trying to understand that.
The Goloka Vrindavan is a creation of the Chaitanya followers. Vedas only talk about Vaikuntham. Vedas only talk about Sri Vaikuntham.
Okay.
So, Goloka Vrindavanam is the way the Chaitanya Sampradaya Vaishnavas have interpreted. That's why the Chaitanya Sampradaya way of this thing, their philosophy is not accepted by even their own Madhvacharya. Therefore, it is better for us not to discuss that. They wanted it that way. They portrayed Goloka Vrindavana as higher than Vaikuntham. They portrayed Krishna as superior to Narayana. So they got their own way of looking at things. As I said, everybody enjoys one aspect of Krishna and they wanted to enjoy. But is it acceptable to the whole Vaishnava community? That is a different matter. Vedas give only Sri Vaikuntham as the highest one, Sriman Narayana as the Purusha, and Bhagavan Sri Krishna as the Paripurna Avatara of Narayana. That is the Vedic stand. Rest of it is individual stands. Got it, Amma?
Swamiji, so Lakshmi Narayana for that is always we have to is a Vaikuntham only, and there is no other existing. When we do the Sharanagati to Narayana, it is for Vaikuntham, and there is no further address to that.
But the beauty of Vaikuntham is such. You go to Vaikuntham, your favorite is Lord Krishna. Everything appears to you as Vrindavan, Krishna, Golokam. Another devotee goes and her favorite is Lord Rama. Everything appears as Saketam, Rama, like that. Some other person is a devotee of Nrasimha. Everything in Vaikuntham appears as Nrasimha Tattvam. So that's how people have a tendency to mistake. Is that clear, Amma?
Swamiji Narayana.
Go ahead, Amma. Next question, Amma.
Actually, in Vishnu Sahasranamam, there is no mention of Gopikas, right? It's only Mahalakshmi, Shreyapati, and but there's no mention of Gopikas in Vishnu Sahasranamam, right?
I don't know. I'll read one more time. So maybe there. I don't know.
Because Bhishma is telling to Krishna, but he didn't say. I'm not sure if he mentioned about Gopikas in Vishnu Sahasranamam.
Therefore, we should not guess. Maybe next time when we read the Vishnu Sahasranamam, let's try to let us try to see whether we can come up with anywhere whether they mention anything about the Gopikas. But I'm sure somewhere they would have mentioned about Govinda, Gopala. So that refers maybe only to. Go ahead, Amma. What else you want to know? No other questions, Amma? Amma, no other questions, Amma?
Sriman Narayana Swamiji. So today we will continue with chapter 9 in the Bhagavad Gita class.
I'll join and we'll definitely do.
Oh, Sriman Narayana.
Narayana, Amma, we'll see you all this evening again at 5 p.m. Amma.